Hello there. Do you play in your life? Are you enjoying fun and play as an integral part of your everyday life? Good question, hey? And the reason it's such a good question is because the answer is no for so many of us. Why is play important? I'm going to go right into that today. Firstly, one of the key coaching tools that I use with my clients in sessions is to gauge an understanding of how balanced one's life is before I really go into discuss different aspects of the client's life and find out ways that can empower the client to improve the experience of life. We first have to see how balanced does the client feel their life is. So my question to you right now is, using the very coaching tool I use with clients, is if you had to rate from 0 to 10 how satisfied you are with the current amount of play, with the current amount of fun and play in your life, what would you rate? Now, for most of us, play has become something of a luxury. In fact, it's very much part of our programming in our Western society that we are here to survive, and play is secondary. So even if you look at the school curriculum in today's mainstream school system, education system, and I was once a teacher for a brief time in high school here in Australia, you'll find the priority of play has been massively reduced. The focus is on productivity, giving us skills to be more productive in society. Now, there's nothing wrong with that in itself, but there is something completely imbalanced when we push away play out of our lives to be just this glimpse every now and then that we experience. For some of us, we don't even know as adults how to play. It's become such a repressed aspect of our human experience. So this is the fundamental question. How are you satisfied with the amount of play in your life right now? Now, you can guarantee that if you have rated your play quite low out of 10, then you're going to be feeling imbalanced in your life. And let me talk a little bit about this balance. Now, if you can imagine a circle, and half of it is survival, and the other half is the sacred in this life experience. Survival are basically everything that we've been taught is the most important thing right now to focus on in this life. Things like work, career, things like doing your chores and getting your responsibilities out of the way, and just eating and training and fitness and everything that has to do with your basic survival has become the priority, despite us not being in these dire situations where we have to focus solely on survival. Food, shelter, water, these are no longer our core focus for the majority of us. Of course, for some of us, this is going to be a focus. But for the majority of us that I'm speaking to today, we are still in this survival mindset, which the current Western society has programmed into us. And that is, it is completely imbalanced. It takes us away from the other 50% of what we should be focusing on if we have a balanced life, and that is the sacred. What am I talking about when I talk about the sacred? For most of us, we don't recognize that the sacred are things in our lives that put us into flow, or the flow state. What is the flow state? It is a beautiful place to be where our brain waves slow down into the alpha theta range, where we lose track of time and space, where we become completely present in what we're experiencing in the moment. The flow state is things like music, dancing, laughter, joking, singing, play, anything that puts you into a beautiful state of flow, of gratitude, appreciation, love. These states bring us from our head, which is all survival. This is the reptilian brain, the fight, flight, freeze part of us, back down into our heart, the seat of the soul, where we can experience flow, where we connect to streams of consciousness. Often people in the zone or the flow talk about streams of consciousness. And what are they? They are when we're accessing guidance, wisdom, intuition, and intelligence direct from source, direct from our pure being. That is pure potentiality, loving awareness. So we need to remember and make it really become a conscious awareness exercise in our lives, that we rebalance back play and the sacred into our human experience every day. So that means that we no longer have an imbalanced circle that is all about survival. It becomes a 50-50 balance between survival and the sacred. Now, one thing also to note about this is, if you look at it, if you're to look at this concept with the masculine and the feminine in mind, we see that the very same core lesson is here. The masculine has become this produce, create, do, achieve mentality, the survival mentality. The feminine is the flow state, where we go into intuitive flow and enjoy the sacred activities, where we nurture ourself and our soul, the big self with the S, the true eternal part of us that is pure loving awareness. So this is why it's integral. If you're on the spiritual journey, looking to master the mind and live in the heart, that you look seriously at the balance you have in your life between survival and the sacred. So let's talk a little bit more about play. How can you integrate play back into your life so that you are satisfying the inner child in you? You are connecting to that flow so that you can continue to spread this higher vibration or frequency into every area of your life, including those things you do to survive. And this is the key here, is recognizing, if you get into play regularly in your life, then like will attract like. If you get into these flow states that bring you into love, appreciation, and gratitude on a regular basis through play, you're going to create a frequency in your life, a vibration that will entrain with matching vibrations of the same nature. You're going to bring in more reasons for play, more reasons for flow, more reasons for peace. This is the thing. The flow state brings us into a place of true peace, because we fully recognize and align with our true nature of pure loving awareness. And we connect with our creator, the divine, who we are made in the image of. So how do adults play? Well, like I mentioned, music, dancing, fun, socializing, laughter, comedy, exploration, hiking, whatever that might be for you, travel. But it has to be in a place where you're not trying to overanalyze, where your monkey mind is not in control here. So the sacred means that your mind, your brain takes a back seat. You move down into the heart field. We know the heart field is 5,000 times stronger than that of the brain. We move out of this and down into a stronger place where we can experience more unlimited possibilities and miracles and solutions in our life beyond our monkey mind's capabilities of even imagining. So think about, this is a question to you, think about what your beliefs are around how worthy it is that you put play into your daily life. Why would I bring that up? Because there is a very strong belief system in this culture that says play is a luxury. Can you see the problem here? If we're putting play as a last priority that we do and only consider or contemplate doing if we've got everything else done in the survival category, can you see why we might be stuck up here in control systems and three-dimensional paradigms? Because we do not access that state of flow on a regular basis. We get stuck in the illusion that we are our body and mind, rather than recognizing through the act of play, we align and remember who we really are. So question yourself, what are my beliefs around play? Am I worthy of play? Is play worthy of me? What value do I place on play? What have I been saying about play and why I have been putting it off? What are my excuses for not prioritizing play in my daily life? What am I putting before play that I deem as so important that I'm missing out on moments with my true nature, where I will receive guidance, wisdom, intuition, and intelligence to move forward in every area of my life? Maybe, and this is probably true for most of us, we didn't recognize that this is the case, that play actually does form part of our flow and part of our alignment with true self. So ask yourself, how balanced is play in your life right now? Ask yourself, what's stopping you from playing right now? And how can you insert play into your life? So get real practical about this. Think about and brainstorm all the ways that you feel in the flow state, that you play. And it's going to be unique to each person, but you can guarantee that it's going to be beautiful, sacred activities that are not about survival. So I would challenge you to sit down and brainstorm what you consider play in your life. And it might be an exploration for you. I know it was for me. I had a very limited mindset of what play was until I sat down and really explored when are the moments that I would get into flow state where I'd lose track of time. And they weren't always your regular things. For me, I actually realized it was when I would go on a hike somewhere new. So I would be actually in the moment, new curiosities would be unfolding because I'd never been on that hike before. And that put me into this place where I lost track of time. And I felt so excited to be in the moment. So think about when this occurs in your life, these are moments of play and flow. So what's a 10 out of 10 look like in your life if you had play integrated into your daily experience? What's 10 out of 10 look like for you? And this again is an individual experience. You cannot compare to another human experience because we're all unique. We all have our own unique filters of perception that deem what is appropriate for play. We all process information differently that deems how we enjoy experiencing new information in each moment. So ask yourself, how much time do I want to allocate to play each day? Perhaps you only want to start with 10 minutes. If it's not part of your life at all, then 10 minutes is a wonderful start. What's 10 minutes? Stopping, maybe turning on some music and singing at the top of your lungs. Maybe it's closing the curtains and dancing around the house. Maybe it's just turning everything off and going outside and looking up at the sky and feeling inspired. Whatever it is that brings you out of the distractions of the monkey mind and into a place of presence so that you're not counting time. Think about this, really think about this. This is integral. So the most beautiful world will manifest for you, and I know this is important to people who watch my videos, the most beautiful world will manifest for you, not by logic, not by being up here in survival, but by love. Where does love come from? Here in the heart field. So we get to heart field flow through play. This is what I'm trying to get through to you, is that play is integral to a beautiful world. So it starts with you. So how will play, increasing this in your experience, change your world? Let me just run through some really important points here. You will have increased states of flow. So the alpha, theta brainwave states. What does putting yourself into alpha, theta brainwave states do? Well, firstly, it puts you into states of joy and relaxation. Joy and relaxation are very, very healthy for healing the physical body, the mental body, and the emotional body. So what better reason than to get into these flow states? You will have an increased heart coherence. So some of you might be aware of the Heart Math Institute studies, but we know that when you are in your heart, in these flow states where you lose track of time, when you're in pure appreciation, gratitude, compassion, and love, you go into a heart-brain coherence. And this will produce feeling of well-being, regenerative feelings, and this regenerates the cells of our very being. You will also have a decrease in cortisol, the stress chemicals. So that's really important in this day and age. You're also going to have increased inspiration in your life. The more time you spend in flow, the more inspiration you will receive direct from source into your life. And what does that mean? It means you will take inspired action in your life as a result, because you'll know this inspiration will lead to an action that will create more flow into your life. So flow equals more flow. The more you practice flow, the more flow will appear in your life. That's just like attracts like, the law of attraction. Like entrains with like, frequency entrains with similar frequency. We need to remember this. This is why we have to play more. If you want to feel good more often, play more. So this will give us more opportunities to play, obviously. Now, there'll also be that increased stream of direct connection to our creator, our guidance system, our GPS system, if you like, more signs, more synchronicities, more direction in our life on our highest available timeline in this experience. So you can see it is paramount. And this is what I really want to communicate to you today. For a long time in my own life, I did not prioritize play. And I think there's many of us in these kind of situations. I thought it was just for those who had the luxury of lots of money, or those who had the luxury of not caring or were lazy. I had this mindset that a lot of us do, that are programmed into us, how unimportant play is. And I believe that we need to undo this programming. It doesn't work. It's a lie. It's an illusion. It's deceitful. We need play. It needs to be a balance. It's not all about survival. So recognize that you will inevitably create and achieve beyond your wildest dreams when you include flow into your life, play. My friends, I hope that this is inspirational for you. I really, really want to encourage you to include more play in your life. We will be changing the world from within. I'm sure you understand that we are the ones we've been waiting for to create a change in this world of survival and rat race thinking. Play needs to be integral in our lives. So go out there, find out what makes you feel joy and fun and puts you in these flow states, and do more of them in your life. And this will be a benefit of medicine to our entire planet, and you, of course. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and have a beautiful, playful rest of your week. See ya.